Yeah, I walk for miles inside this pit of danger.
However, we will remain on the topic of Impact Wrestling because the greatest tease has been done. D'Lo Brown was pictured on the phone speaking to someone. He stands up at the end of the conversation, and hanging on the back of his chair is an Aces and Eights cutlet. I think that's what they used to call the vests. My God, I'm so happy this comes back. However, obviously we won't be able to get the complete package back because Mr. Anderson, or Ken Anderson, is, I believe, still contracted to NWA, so he won't be back in it. He might be, I don't know. Actually, now you said it, I don't want to Google it. I can't remember to Google it. What has happened to Wes Briscoe? He was disappeared off the face of the earth. The guy with the long hair, I can't remember his name. He always tagged with Wes.
Garrett Bishop.
That's the one.
Yeah, Garrett.
No. Wes was the long-haired one. Garrett was the slick-haired one. Yeah, they disappeared off the face of the earth after Aces and Eights ended. Devon obviously won't be a part of it because he's a producer with WWE and is retired from in-ring. Bully Ray is with Ring of Honor.
Mike Knox.
Knox,
he exists.
As it stands, Knox is with no one. So yeah, he'll be there.
He never gets the love he deserves.
Taz is with obviously AEW. Doc, who is recently released from WWE. Obviously, Doc is Luke Gallows, or Big Lukey. Tito Ortiz was there for a little bit, and Leva Bates was apparently there as well. I didn't realise that Leva Bates was part of Aces and Eights, but I reckon it's the greatest Impact storyline since AJ Styles' illegitimate child, and they tried to recreate the Triple H Kane thing.
So, seeing as this storyline was about 8 years ago, George, do you want to give us like a quick run through for those of us that can't remember or haven't seen it?
Yeah, so basically we got a lot of masked men appear, not those ones you're thinking of if you're thinking about The Undertaker and Muhammad Hassan.
I was definitely not thinking of when you're talking about an American promotion on masked men, I'm not thinking of The Undertaker and Muhammad Hassan.
Not thinking of the WWE crowd wearing masks.
Because WWE is
basically, the masked men would attack various members of the TNA roster.
Were these masks white?
No, they weren't.
Thank God.
They were variously weird ski masks. They started off by attacking Sting and Hulk Hogan, obviously, when he was in power with Impact Wrestling. They would take both of them out of action, and slowly but surely each member of Aces and Eights would have their identity revealed some way or another. I think a couple of times people had masks taken off, and we basically got TNA versus Aces and Eights. It was like a repeat of the Nexus, not as good because Nexus was pretty much next level invasion stuff, and it all culminated with the leader being Bully Ray, who had married Brooke Hogan, Hulk Hogan's daughter, and basically fucked him over, which I'm sure Joe absolutely loved.
To be honest, Brooke Hogan went from the main male influence in her life being Hulk Hogan to the main male influence in her life being Bully Ray. So to be honest, it's like choosing between a giant turd and it's a giant douche and a turd sandwich. Isn't that the reference? That's the reference.
I don't know. I've never heard that.
Is that South Park, right?
Yep. The elections.
That's
For the longest time, Bully Ray obviously pretended to be a good guy, and he would fight against his brethren and his followers. Obviously, before he revealed himself to be the leader, smacking Jeff Hardy in the back of the head with a hammer in a steel cage match, in which he won the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. I'm pretty sure that is correct. We got many brawls between TNA members and Aces and Eights, which for me I absolutely love. I love a big old terror pile brawl. They're very much fun, and it also made, for me, I don't know about Rhys as well, AJ Styles go from this level to this level, because the pop he got when he walked out undecided of which team he was with, if he was with TNA or if he was with Aces and Eights, and then he whips his hood off, his old theme song hit, and he just went, he ran wild, essentially.
Yeah, because
he ran wild.
Brother, dude, Jack.
The whole like AJ and Ace and Ace, when I think when I think Aces and Eights, I do kind of forget that bit, but that was like a whole kind of side story that was going on as well, and that was a big payoff. Like,
he did his lone wolf thing. He didn't want to be affiliated with TNA. The TNA main event mafia, basically. He didn't want to be affiliated with Aces and Eights. He wanted to be on his own, just him. And then he teamed with Aces and Eights, with main event mafia, who also had, oh my god, what was that MMA fighter's name?
Oh, King Man?
Rampage Jackson.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Oh, Mr. T.
Mr. T. Yeah, Mr. T from the 18 film. But it was a very, very good storyline for the point of 2012, where the company wasn't the greatest product on TV. The Impact Wrestling wasn't fantastic. That storyline was brilliant.
But do you remember when they revealed Devon, and it was meant to be this massive thing, and the crowd just was like, "This is awkward."
Wasn't it? They grabbed onto him and grabbed his mask, pulled it back.
Yeah.
I remember.
The worst reveal.
I remember when they revealed Gallows, and I was like, "Who's that?"
Yeah.
Because I didn't really know who Gallows was before this, and I remember him as Festus, and I was like, "Was this meant to be a big thing, or is it just
Because Devon was the first one they revealed, right?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, he was the first.
I remember Garrett and Briscoe, I think, wrestled a lot of the time with their masks taken off. Because it might have been them.
I would just like to clarify that I'm not talking very much because I didn't watch this.
That's fine.
You know, I didn't watch it, but there's a playlist on YouTube. Aces and Eights storyline, and it's just all the segments from every show, and like every match just pieced together in a playlist.
I'm going to take back what I said, because Mr. Anderson was apparently meant to appear at There's No Place Like Home for TNA before coronavirus ruined it for all of us, in an Aces and Eights reunion alongside D'Lo Brown. So
they're just teasing it for Slammiversary, and they might do something because D'Lo obviously is teased, so that's fun.
Kind of hope not. Like, I might be alone in this, but I think Mr. Anderson might be one of the worst wrestlers I've ever seen.
Do you know what? I'm actually.
I'm
fully team.
See, I'm going to reference something, but I'm not going to reference where I got it from. It's another wrestling YouTube channel. They did a career retrospective on Mr. Anderson, and after watching that, I actually felt very sorry for him, because he had so much promise, he had so much going for him, and then injuries got in the way. Randy Orton got in the way.
And he's an asshole.
Went to Impact, and Impact he was actually really good. He was really good in Impact as the main event star. His promo on Triple H is still one of the best things from that company.
Okay, yeah, that was good, but like his matches aren't. You can't wrestle.
Nor can John Cena, but he's the 16-time world champion.
That's a fair point.
Sorry, Shirley. No, I'm joking. Cena's a decent wrestler. It's just that he's
not. Jonathan Cena is a good wrestler. Mr. Anderson / Kennedy / Impact. That's the wrong guy.
That's Johnny Mundo.
Mr. Impact blog. But like Ken Kennedy was supposed to be the Vince McMahon's illegitimate son.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he can't wrestle, then he fits into the clan.
But it was. I can't remember what the reason why that he wasn't in the end. Was it?
He got injured. Oh no, was it a pharmaceutical thing?
My internal memory of Vince McMahon wrestling is him wrestling Jack Cowan.
Orton got him fired. That was when he was. That was when Kennedy was a face. Orton got him fired after a botched back suplex, and Orton landed on his collarbone.
Was he part of the signature pharmacy scandal? And then he got suspended.
I think so. Yeah, and then he got suspended. Then that's when they picked Hornswoggle. Then he got injured after he won the Money in the Bank briefcase. Even though the injury wasn't that long of a layoff, he could have actually kept the briefcase the entire time and still had the year gap to cash it in, but they gave it to Edge instead. he's just a poor soul. One thing I do like that Rhys has put in his notes here is regarding Gallows. He's announced that he's got loads of Aces and H t-shirts to sell on his Talking Shop podcast, which is obviously the podcast he has alongside his good brother Carl Anderson. I want to talk about that podcast specifically because they will be talking about Saudi Arabia when their contracts are expired with WWE. Their 90-day release clause, or 90-day no compete clause, expires on the 17th of July. So on the 18th, they'll be doing a podcast and talking about what happened in Saudi Arabia when they all got grounded.
I am listening to that. That's going to be good.
Because there's been a couple of different people that have gone to the authorities and told them what happened. But obviously, no one knows who it is. I think Gallows admitted he spoke to them, but he only spoke to them to say, "Who told you this?" I want to find out. I want to know who told you this stuff. So that's an interesting situation. 2020 has one good thing: there will be no Saudi Arabia shows this year.
Yeah, I walk for miles inside this pit of danger.